Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be solving the question number 2827, change string. In this question what is asked, so it's a Java series question. You can see it's a naive question, it's a very simple question. And what we have to do in this question, we have given this particular string JIUU in this particular format. So this particular string we are given and we have to convert each and every word of this string to uppercase, and once we have converted each and every character of this string to uppercase, we have to make this capital characters to lowercase character a. So that is what is asked in the question. So let's understand like how we can approach this question. We have to first understand, in order to solve this question, to understand the ASCII values and how to deal with them. Okay, so if you see, we have this particular ASCII table and the values for particular character capital A to capital Z lies in the range of 65 to 90, and for small a to small c, lowercase a to lowercase z, it lies in the range of 97 to 122. And what is asked in the question is to convert lowercase alphabets to uppercase alphabet, and the value, ASCII value for this one is 97 and for capital A is 65. So if we subtract this value, we will get a difference of around 32. And here if you see, right, if we add 32 here, we will get 97, and if we add 32 here, we will get 122. So it is very clear, if we subtract, if we want to convert a lowercase value to uppercase value, then we simply need to subtract 32 from this one to make it 65. So if 97 value is there, and if we subtract 32 from there, we will get 65, which is nothing but the value of capital A, right? This is the decimal value. So this particular logic we will be using to solve this particular question. So in order to convert any lowercase value to uppercase value, we will just need to subtract 32 from that ASCII value and then convert it to its character, and then we can solve that question. So let's try to solve this question here. In order to solve it, we just need to create a string. So since strings are immutable in Java, we can't directly manipulate it as we can do in other languages. So here we can't do that. So for that, what we will do, we will create another result variable where we will store the string, and we have to iterate the values for the str1. So we just need write a simple for loop which will iterate on all the values of the string, so where we can take the length and then we can increment each and every one by one character. Once we are doing that part, now to understand what we have to do here, we have to, if you remember, here it is asked to convert back capital A to small a. So what if when we are trying, let's say here in this case itself, so if when we are trying to convert this part and when we encounter small a, lowercase a, we don't change it, we keep it as it is, and if we see any uppercase letter capital A in our question, then we just need to change it to lowercase a. So since in this this particular string is asked in the question, we can directly omit this condition, but we'll just solve it in a proper way so that we can understand how it is happening. Okay, so to handle the case, if we encounter any time in the string a particular value which is capital uppercase A, then we can mention what we can do in that case. We can simply append the value to a string as the lowercase value. Since all the uppercase A's has to be converted to lowercase, so we will just change that particular one, and let's change it. Let's take the value at that particular location, and we will since it's an uppercase value, we have to add the value. As you can see, the value for the uppercase is 65. For the capital case A, it is 65, so we have to add it to make it to lowercase. So that we have to keep in mind. Once, let's handle that part. Okay, so that we have handled. Now it's pretty straightforward logic. Then we can write, how we can write it, like we can just take the value at that location, and if it lies in the range of the ASCII values of 65 to 97, 65 to, yeah, so it lies in the range of small a to capital Z, then we can do the manipulation of making them as uppercase. Why we are not taking the value, why we are not taking the value at this particular location? Because this we are not taking because of the only one reason, which is nothing but because we are handling it over here and we don't want to convert any lowercase values of small character a, lowercase a to uppercase. So we don't need for that conversion. So what we only need is to convert all the values other than that to uppercase in the lower alphabet series. Let's change it. And when we start to change that part, okay, so here also we have to keep in mind the value that we have changed here is the integer value, so we can't directly take that value, we have to convert it to its respective character value. Okay, so that part we have to keep in mind. And when we have changed that part, we just simply take here also, let's change it itself first here, and we'll just take the value at that location of the character. And since it's a lowercase value, we have to subtract from that the 32 value so that it can convert into its respective uppercase value. So here we have understood that part, like if it is B, so for that B it will be 98, and when we subtract 32 value from there, we will get around 66, and which will be pointing to this value after 65, which will be 66, and which is the value of capital B. So this is that part. And now we just need to, if we are encountering any uppercase value, we just need to change the value of that particular location. We don't need to change anything, we just directly can keep it that value at that location. Okay, and now we just need to print the value and we will be good. And the value that we have to print is the result string. So we are checking the first approach here. We will see two more approaches to solve the same question. So if you can see that it is getting accepted. Okay, now let's try to use the second approach here. Before that, let's check submit, and it is getting accepted also. Okay, instead of using caret every time when we are trying to access the values, what we will do, we will directly convert this string to its character array. So for that, let's declare that character array as ch, and we will use a function called to character array, str to character array, and it will create a character array out of it. So that part is done, and then what we can do, we can use a string buffer for that purpose. And when we use a string buffer, we just need to create a new instance of that object, and here not many things will change. We don't need this one right now. We don't need this, and in here we just need to append the values in a particular format. And what we have to append is this particular value itself. The only difference that will lie here, instead of we calling it str.caret_I, we just simply need to check the value at that array index, so it will be a little faster. Now let's close the bracket. Same thing we have to repeat here also, but instead of adding the value we will subtracting, because we are trying to make it to uppercase value. Let's comment these values. We don't need that. And here at the end we just need to take the value of that particular index itself, and we don't need any conversion also. Okay, now let's run it. Oh no, one issue we have missed here. Instead of result we have to use sb, which is nothing but our string buffer. Let's run it. Okay, so it is getting settled. Let's add to submit also. So it is getting some accepted. Okay, so that is another approach. Now let's see a third approach, so where we don't need to use all these things. So these things we don't need, we can simply write it in a single line. How we will do it? Okay, let's keep the last value, we don't need these values, and we can write our solution in a single line. How we can write it? Let's take the value string and let's convert it to uppercase as is asked in the question. And once we convert everything to uppercase, we just simply need to replace the values of capital A to lowercase a. Let's run it. So this is also getting accepted. Let's submit, and it is getting accepted. So we have discussed three approaches to approach a simple problem here, where to convert lowercase values to uppercase and omit the conversion of the alphabet character A. So I hope the concepts that we have discussed, like the ASCII values and how to convert all these with the three approaches, are clear. So if you find this video insightful, do like, share and subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you.